There's an old saying in the police department that no one ever called the police for good news. There's some truth to that. For the most part, somebody pick up their phone and dial 911. Something bad has happened somewhere, be it a traffic accident, someone has been seriously injured, kidnappings, an assault has taken place, or, worse. But there are moments where the police are utilized in situations that are less stressful. A time period that I can remember is like when COVID was a big deal. When I say it was a big deal, I just mean when we were doing everything different. People on lockdown and this, that, and the other. There were times where we would get called to communities. We would meet up with the fire department. We would meet up with families, and they would arrange these little miniature parades to ride by a house that may be some kid's birthday. Everybody was on lockdown, so they couldn't have like a full birthday party anymore. So people would just drive by, maybe drop off a gift, and it was cool, being a part of that, bringing some kind of joy to that child who's not getting to celebrate a traditional birthday. There are moments where we would be deployed to work a football game, some sort of special event or community meeting or whatever. All those situations are less stressful than the things I named starting out. So on that same note, it don't have to be a major special event for it to be a kind or pleasant encounter with the police. You live in a neighborhood. You live in a community. Your community, your neighborhood is what we refer to as a beat. Basically, a beat is an area, in this area that you live in. You can pick up the phone, dial your local police non-emergency number, and tell them your address and have them send your beat officer over so you guys can introduce yourselves to each other. For an ideal of what to ask a beat officer when he come up, you can ask him or her. You can ask, how long have you been on the job? Nothing wrong at all if it's a person that's brand new. Let them ask them how long they've been on the job, what made them decide to be a police officer. Let him or her know what issues exist in the community, what things are important to you. Just a casual conversation. A lot of departments, our shifts vary so much by different agencies. Where I work at, we work 12-hour shifts. So the beat that I'm assigned to, they would have 2 beat officers per day. One on the half that I work, the 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., and then another on the other half, the 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. So you could, coordinate a time that fits for you to have your beat officer come by so you guys can introduce yourselves to each other. Some departments work 8-hour shift. If it's an 8-hour shift, you're probably going to have like a total of 3 beat officers in one day. 6 to 3 shift, 3 to 11 shift, and 11 to 7 shift, So introduce yourself to your beat officer. Get to know your beat officer. And you could also stop by your local precinct, your local police precinct that's close to your community, because, there are times you won't always get your beat officers. There are times when, your beat officer may be already tied up on a call and they send you somebody outside of your beat. So you can go to the precinct and just introduce yourself to the police there, or just to get familiar with the faces there. I like that concept. It has happened before. I like that concept because when it comes to this thing, we can only do so much of our job without the community. The community is the key thing to making our job even possible. So just something to consider, introduce yourself to your beat officer, get to know who your beat officer is.